Hello guys and welcome back to Electro Horde. Today I'm gonna show you a pretty interesting device that I have, which is a radiation meter, also known as a Geiger counter. And this thing can actually measure three different types of ionizing radiation, which are the alpha, beta, and gamma particles. And it has a pretty huge Geiger-Müller tube. That's why it's called the Geiger counter, because it has this tube which is called the Geiger-Müller tube, and this is actually the sensor that detects the radiation particles. And this one I built it myself. This is a custom case, and the LCD with the electronics inside, you can buy them in form of a kit on eBay. I already had this Geiger-Müller tube laying around, so it was pretty easy to put everything together. And as I said, this thing can measure radiation, and it's pretty useful for hoarders like us, because we end up hoarding a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff that we hoard are actually radioactive. I'll make some new videos on the channel on the next weeks about some radioactive stuff that I have around my house, and we'll be seeing a lot more different Geiger counters on the channel. I have a small collection of them, and I do plan on showing you guys all the counters that I have. And this will be the first one that I'm gonna show you, because this is the most sensitive one, because it has the bigger tube of all of them, and also because I like it pretty much because I made it myself. Okay, so this thing actually has a pretty standard functionality. It beeps every time it detects a radioactive particle. That's why it's beeping. And with each beep, it also flashes an LED. This is just the on-off button, so it just turns it on and off. And it takes a little bit to actually come on and start counting. Now it's counting the particles, and CPM means counts per minute. And this is to turn on and off the backlight. As you can see, I just turned off the backlight. Now it's much harder to see the display. I turned it on. And by going here, we can actually change the mode. This is the counter mode, so it counts the quantity of particles in 1 minute and 10 minutes that it has detected. This gets us back to the standard microsieverts per hour measurement and counts per minute. And it also has alarm functions. All this functionality was already built in on the kit with the complete board and LCD that I got from eBay. Okay, and here on this envelope we have some radioactive radium that I have here around the house. This is actually from an old undark painted dial from a watch, and I do plan on making a video about these watches and the undark dials that used radium painting and were painted by what we now call the radium girls, which were the women that used to paint these dials back then. And let's try to get this closer to the counter and see what happens. As you can see, the Geiger counter went all crazy. The red LED is on, which is the alarm function, just to let us know that radiation is kind of high right now. The counter LED is flashing like crazy. We're getting now almost 5 microsieverts per hour, almost 5,000 counts per minute. Let's put this away, let it settle again. Back to the normal background radiation. Take some time for it to settle again. Let's just put this away to make sure it's not getting any radiation from that source. Okay, so we're back to background radiation. Less than 0.3 microsieverts per hour can be considered normal background radiation. When you're flying on an airplane, this gets higher, and obviously when you're around a radioactive source, this can get much higher, like this source, right? And the interesting thing about this meter is that since it has such a big Geiger-Müller tube, we can actually see the radiation particles hitting the tube if we are in complete darkness. So I'll try to get a shot of this. I've never done this on camera before. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good shot of it, but I'll just turn off the lights and get back with the Geiger counter on my hand. And even though it will be completely dark, you won't be able to see anything. What you'll be looking at is a shot just like this one, with the tube pointing to the camera, and I will be getting a source closer and then farther away from the tube, so we can actually try to see if we can see the tube glowing with every single radioactive particle that hits the tube. Let's try to do it. So here we are in complete darkness. You can barely, I just left a very faint lighting on the background so you can actually see what you're looking at. This is the Geiger-Müller tube here, and each flash that you see inside the tube is where one radioactive particle has actually hit the tube. So this is just background radiation. The source is away from the tube. I'll try to get it closer to the tube now, and we'll see a lot more activity. Okay, so as you can see, we get a lot of different particles hitting the tube, and each particle that hits the tube can be clearly seen on the video. So this is the first time I shoot this on complete darkness. It's quite nice to see that we can actually see the particles hitting the tube. And let me just try to get another shot by getting it a little sideways and getting the source back here. There we go. So what happens is this kind of radiation is ionizing radiation, which means that it ionizes the whatever gas is inside the tube. And when it ionizes the gas, the energy comes back as visible light, and that's why we can see the small flashes inside the tubes when we are in complete darkness. So let me just turn on the lights here again and get back to you. Okay, so we're back. I had to turn off even the backlight from the meter, because with the backlight on, you wouldn't be able to clearly see those particles hitting the tube. You can see that. With the lights on, we just can't see anything happening, anything going on there. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like the video. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave your comments down below. Thank you very much, and see you on our next episode. Bye bye.